That's an extra tag for... Oh, no, not really. You already had Salamandra. But it's just like a fail-safe Salamandra. So Yanevski's going for Champion's Charge. No. Yeah. On the Jackal. But the Jacques is right there. And Jacques is more power. Oh, but the Jackal's a Tide Cloak. Okay, I can see it. Like, the Mastermind's not even that good. It's going to be a Mutant Maker and a Fistic Trafficker. So, I think it really needs to play Shady Vendor melee row. And maybe look for another tag. Or Spender. I guess he knows last card is so. He instead goes for Ranger. He's going to get a Yoink. Yoink is good with these tags. It plays for 8 plus 210 plus... 2 coins, I guess? No, because he had 8 coins already. But maybe he spent first. I didn't see.
That's only the beginning.
Blocks range row, which doesn't matter. He's gonna get a... Wait, why don't you go for the Hafru? He had 6 Bloodthirst. That's 4 extra points he just gave up. Yenkon? You can play Yenkon in Golden Necker NR with Arbalists. Or in Syndicate Crimes with
And now,
with Brawlers. Any kind of engine overload deck that has pings can do it.
The anatomical changes slightly exceed my expectations.
Yeah, that 4 points literally decided the game. Then again, it's really lost 1 point by not picking a tag that he didn't already have on the board. So technically, if both players didn't throw, the result would have been the same. Well, maybe, I don't know. There was a lot of stuff happening that game. But I guess playing Warriors too much can, in fact, rot your brain. Don't play Warriors.
Hello there.
You had coins left over? Okay. So he was always... Syndicate was winning that. Yeah, it's still, like... It's not like it was a complex choice. Like, you had 2 choices, a 4 and a 6, and there's a board with 6 red units on it. And, like, you're thinking about that, like, when to leader. It's like, you're thinking of the whole... maybe that was a mouse slip or something. We'll go with that. It was a misclick.
I heard you're a fan of my work.
Yeah, Indica, take any, like, Golden Necker in our deck, like, for example, Miamon's deck, and, like, replace one of the 9Ps with Yenkon. But keep Ildico. Ildico's good in those decks. So, this one is going to be the battle of my favorite archetype versus my favorite archetype, which is the boosty green Jizz versus the boosty green Jizz. Both players are running Symbiosis and Aquen, which is surprising to no one. Here comes another Hamadryad versus a Hamadryad, and both Hamadryads are sleeping and getting richer because they're sleeping on some crypto. Here comes Aquen. Aquen is going to turn every Naiad into a nature card, as reasons. And what are Naiads? They're like Dryads, but they're also Naiads. And this one's a Dryad and a Naiad. And then every time you play a nature card, which includes the Naiads that have now also become nature cards, this Naiad Dryad will now boost spawn a Treant and boost it by the number of Dryads that you have. Are you keeping track of all this? Anyway, the point is, play green card, get green points. Archetype. Naiads or water dryads, that's right, because W plus N equals... W plus D equals N. Somehow. All right, we see Rebuke come down, get a killing blow, play for 4, +2, 8 points, Rebuke, and kills the fledgling. Now, will Etteriely play their own fledgling at some point? I don't know. But here comes a thingy, a Pond Keeper, which is also a Naiad, but wasn't a nature card until Aquan the Naiad made that Dryad into also a Naiad. Made that Naiad into a nature card, but this is also a Dryad and a Naiad. But some Naiads are not Dryads. For example, wait, are all Naiads Dryads? All Naiads are Dryads, but not all Dryads are Naiads. Yep. And now we see Eskel come down and go for a kill on nothing, because in a mirror, Eskel is basically a 4-point card, and Etteriely is just saying, I give up the round anyway, and I just want to pretend that I participated. Wow, great stuff. Incredible displays. Both players playing unpredictably. Nobody could expect that the red coin player would keep their Aquan, or that the blue coin player would jam their Aquan. And of course now, the blue coin player has to bleed out the enemy Aquan, and then the enemy has to try and keep their Aquan. And so it's all about the Aquan, baby. Too much green in this matchup? I agree. CDPR slept on this guy's cast. I know, right? Who doesn't want to hear me talk about green jizz at World Masters 2024? I did cast all the Masters. D-Fan wants me to YouTube this game? Alright, I'll YouTube this game. Alright, here comes a Harvest. A Harvest is a card that boosts a Philovandrel in your hand by 2, so that you can later play Philovandrel into the card that goes into your graveyard and becomes 3 points of carryover later once you play 3 specials. Which you will always do, because this deck all loves to play specials. We have, of course, the Blue Mountain Lead coming out for that, which is pretty good, because it only works on this now when it's the only unit on the board. Interestingly enough, when Etteriely played the Hamadryad, he did not give it Vitality. He was basically saying, go ahead and Rebuke if you want. Which is surprising to me. And now we see Saskia Dragon come out. Saskia Dragon, always used to create another young Dryad, because this dragon can either create an elf Dryad or a little baby dwarf. And in this case, he creates a... and then Eskel gets value because Saskia Dragon exists in that deck. But in this deck, there's no Saskia Dragon. Instead, there's a Philovandrel. So Philovandrel makes your enemy Eskel be a brick, but your Eskel can still hit their dragon if they have a dragon, and you don't. So who wins in a Symbiosis mirror, red or blue? I actually don't know, Bernice. I think it's probably more to do with draws. Maybe blue coin is favored? I don't know. The thing is, Etteriely still has Aquan, right? So I think Etteriely played it correctly for red coin. But Etteriely did have that Eskel that did nothing. Whereas this Eskel killed the dragon. But Philovandrel's still going to get value. So technically, as far as these two specific decks go, Yanevski has an advantage. And right now he has a fledgling on the board that Etteriely needs to kill. So, but the question is, will we see Forest Protector into Rebuke to kill the fledgling? Or will he try and just play Tempest now? Okay, we see another Pond Keeper come down for Symbiosis. He still hasn't played Aquan. So like every single Naiad that he plays would have gotten an extra like point minimum. On this board it would have gotten like 3 extra points. It's just kind of shocking to me. But the problem is both Fov and Call of the Forest were missed, so it really had no way to play the Aquan. So I guess this game was already decided because they missed their Aquan round 1 and 2, and they also missed all 2-2. Like, the odds of missing 3 cards in your first, like, 13 and then in the next 5 are so low that it almost never happens. I don't think I've ever seen my opponent miss their Aquan. Yeah, Tempest is going to come out, but it's not going to be enough. Like, these 3 cards would have been at least an extra, like, I don't know, 18 points? On top of what they already played for? Unless you're playing in a tournament, yeah. You never miss it unless you're playing in a tournament.
Feign not ignorant.
Here comes Simless. I mean, Yanevski smells blood in the water because there's no Aquid. And this is called a forest, which can be used to get a forest protector into a rebuke. So if you play the Seer here, they play Philavandrel, call the forest into forest protector, into rebuke, into kill your Elven Seer, and all your hopes and dreams are lost. It really doesn't have any way to buff the Seer. He could first play forest protector into Harvest, right? Is there Harvest in this? Yeah. Forest protector into Harvest is what I would do, but I also wouldn't have known that this Philavandrel's at 9 if I didn't have Observer God powers. Okay, looks like that is the play we'll see. The left side should always be the one you pick. Yep, buffs the Seer. And put it... Why there? Why not put it next to the Fledgling? Okay. This with the Giant's Curse should be enough. So that Harvest into Sork actually saved him there. Because Philavandrel isn't going to get wasted on something that came from Harvest. So it really keeps his Simless somehow, and he's going to have Aquin. Well, we assume. He could, in theory, miss all 3 of these. They could be in the bottom 4. No, but he does draw the fob. Now he just needs to dodge bricks. Well, against the Equinox, will we get a brick? No, it's Circle of Life. Just keep it, man. Count your blessings. I saw him hover over that fob. Like, you never... Okay. These are the cards. So Fall into Call of the Forest, into Aquid, and I think that's game. Well, Aquid will be at 5 power, so it will get instantly removed. What? It will no, because it went to 6, right? Because of Call of the Forest. Okay, game over. That's it. Yanevski loses, Etteriely wins. Aquin plus Simless versus not Aquin and not Simless. Let's update the score. Looks like we're going to game 3, boys. And I'm gonna make sure that I am set up as an observer on the semifinal. If somebody can get me like Metallic Denny's final, whatever, that would be great. Wait, where did that Seer come from? From Harvest? He got an Elven Seer from Harvest? And 11 is Waters. What the hell does Waters do for you? Don't you want... Didn't you need to... Lord? And then an elf deck? No, because backup plan is not a nature card. And it's hard to get it to 6. How do you get your Philavandrel to 6? Just from Call of the Forest? That seems like a waste.
You are no lunet of mine.
So it's Aquin on the board. Simless into double Equinox. Goes to 51 points. And what will Philavandrel do? 13. He's going to play in melee row, and he gets frogs, which will not be enough. Tempering is also not enough. Frogs was actually 1 more point, wasn't it? No, they were the same. All right, it really wins 51 to 39. Unironically, missing Aquin ended up being the win for them. How did that happen? Is it because Tempest was played by Yanevski round 1? So that was game 2. Game 3 is going to be